Welcome back to this edition of the Barnstormers Dugout Report. Joining me is outfielder Matt Watson. Matt, calf's been bothering you a little bit this year. It's slowed down your start, but it certainly looked during the Camden series that bat's come to life.
Yeah, it's been one of those tough things. You know, you're starting off and you don't quite get out there. I don't want to say not so much in shape, but you get injured in spring, and then you try to get back and maybe rush things a little bit here or there. But you know, the last game felt pretty good. You know, physically and hopefully turning the corner here and getting some more energy, and you know, we'll see. Hopefully it'll turn into always one of those things where I play, you tend to play yourself into shape. So, you know, that's what I'm hoping for here in the next couple of days.
Obviously, just about a year ago, a little over a year ago, was when you signed with the Oakland Athletics. It led to tremendous things last summer for you, getting back to the major leagues, which was, of course, a dream and an objective when you signed with the Barnstormers originally, but sometimes it can seem far off. You became the reality.
Yeah, you know, it's amazing how many guys from other teams have come up, you know, and say, hey, congrats on last year, and, you know, I haven't quite played a full season in independent ball, but this being part of my third year, you know, it gets kind of a little fraternity out there. You know, when one guy gets picked up and does well, it seems that everybody follows and gives them a little bit of hope. So, you know, if that's what it brought some of these guys, I was glad to be part of it. And, you know, I never felt that it was unrealistic to get back there. I thought maybe getting the opportunity to get back, you know, I hadn't felt like my skills had left me that much. But sometimes you get a little older, and the way the game's going, they cut out that kind of 4A outfielder or fourth outfielder, however they decide it needs to be labeled. But, you know, it was just kind of one thing led to another, and it was nice to get back there and something I'll remember.
Yeah, certainly one thing getting signed by Oakland and going to Sacramento and getting off to a great start, but then getting to the major leagues and hitting that home run off Clay Buchholz. Just describe that moment for us.
A little bittersweet. You know, I got there, and I don't think, did some things mechanically here, you know, some stuff with Lance, and then working up a B2B where I finally felt like I figured some things out hitting, and it was about as hot as I've ever been, I think, when I got called up. And then you sit, wait for a chance to play. And you know, my family had gone home. I sent them home to have a summer and let the kids get into sports and stuff. So it would have been a little more rewarding if they were out there, but you know, nothing like hitting in a day game and then you got nothing to go home and nobody to really share it with. But it was nice for them. You know, back home they got to watch it on TV, and you know, unfortunately the year panned out the way it did. But when you look back at it in hindsight, you know, 2010 was way more than I was expecting going in.
I know going into last year, it was going to be your last year. That happened. Now you're back for 2011. What's the future hold?
Nobody knows. I mean, I came back here in 09, I think, from Korea, and my body was just so worn down that I wasn't sure if I could do it anymore. Last year, I think the end of 09, I started getting the at-bats and feeling comfortable, like I said earlier, playing myself into shape. You know, last year was just big mentally, knowing, you know, I can still compete at this level, and then getting back there, you know, having farm directors and everybody say, well, you look better at 31 than you did at 24, 25 when you were here the last time. So I don't feel like I'm too far off. Mentally, I feel better than I did, you know, last year. It's just one of those things, like I said, you never know when somebody needs a spot or somebody's going to get picked up. And unfortunately, most of that's out of your control. So I look at every year going in, I plan on being here and let the kids come down. It's close to home. And I always just wanted to play long enough to get them to be in the clubhouse a little bit and get to see some games and remember it. And if things work out the way they did, that's fantastic. If not, either way, you're still playing baseball.
Moving from right field to left field, ordinarily not the biggest adjustment in the world, except for playing it here. A large adjustment at Clipper Magazine Stadium.
Yeah, that's what I'm contributing some of the slow start calf-wise, you know, getting out there in spring. And you don't think it is, but right field's almost like a second DH when you're playing here, especially when you got a guys, you know, like Saginaw in there that you know is going to hit. He's a great clubhouse guy, and he's going to be a DH pretty much every day. I kind of look forward to those days. And then, you know, getting out in left field, it is big out there, whether it's mental or, you know, you get out there and you turn around and the fence is so far away that, you know, that I think drained my calves in spring, and hopefully I can get out there and keep this wind blowing in here for today and the next couple of days and keep getting more legs underneath me.
So many new teammates this year, but it didn't take long for this club to gel.
No, it hasn't. And, you know, I feel like I've been on the outside looking in as many games as I missed here, you know, with the legs and everything. But, you know, the guys are swinging bats, and, you know, we lost some pitchers there with Les and Hammer that were big parts of the bullpen. I know Jonah Bale, this guy who just got in, pretty stand-up guy. I remember him being pretty lights out too. So he should be a nice addition to the club, but it seems like we just get it done. I've never been involved in teams with such one-run games here, one-run there, and we're lucky to be on the winning side of most of these lately. So see if we can keep that going.
And it's an experienced team, more so than we've had here. Angel Flores is now the youngest guy on the team at 24, so there aren't any real babies in the clubhouse.
No, and I think just the main thing that comes with that is no sense of panic. You know, sometimes these games feel like Game 7, warm the guys up, guys get 2 hits, 2 guys on base. It's almost like, you know, Game 7 every night out there. But, you know, when you're winning them all, you can't really complain. But the veteran leadership of the club, being in those games, guys have been around. They know what to expect. They know what to do. Some guys are off to slow starts, and Tiffy got off, you know, to the sure start. He didn't want to get off, but he's turned the corner here, and hopefully, and he's hitting the heck out of the ball lately. And I think that's what you get with a veteran team. Guys don't tend to panic so early in the year.
And it's always nice to be in first place. It's still a long way to go, but it's better first than third or fourth.
Yeah, it is. So it makes the clubhouse much more fun to be around, too.
Matt, thanks for taking time out to join us. Good luck in tonight's ball game, and hopefully a couple more hits in store.
Thank you.
Matt Watson joining me tonight on the Barnstormers Dugout Report. I'll be back with the Dabrowski Eye Associates starting lineups in just a moment. Barnstormers Baseball right here with you on IBNSports.com, SportsJuice.com, and Fox Sports Radio, 1490 WLPA.